Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to come. I know y'all are busy. It's just kind of how it goes nowadays. There's so many things going on. So many of you know this, but some of you don't. So what I'd like to just talk a little bit about is who we are. Because what's most interesting about us is that we are not a private company. We are a government agency just like you are. So I work for South Central Planning and Development Commission. My Government Online is actually just an enterprise fund within the commission. And we'll have our CEO here and CO here at some point, but that's our executive director. We have a board made up of local politicians, but we're what's known as an economic development district, or more commonly called a COG. So no matter where you're from, we have customers now across 26 states. In every state in the United States, there's economic development districts. So your COG for your area, those are our sister agencies. Now, if you were to visit us in Houma, Louisiana, we're about 45 minutes down Highway 90. If anybody is up for that, you're certainly welcome to do so. This is the front of our facility that you would see. Now, we do a lot of really interesting things as a commission. A lot of times people, what do y'all do at the commission? And I feel like it would be easier to tell them what we don't do. We don't build missiles. It's just it goes on and on what we do. But there's a number of notable things besides the software that we're very involved. Like I said, we're in over 26 states now. But we also do a lot of things with building codes. So we have Michael Witch, who's here somewhere. Mike, there's Mike right up there. Michael Wick is the past president of ICC. I've watched him work personally very hard at that for many years now and going through the ranks to serve. But we do a lot of things with Mike's leadership and other team affecting ICC building codes at a national level. So it's not just the software initiative, it's impacting your jobs that we're very involved with Mike and others with that. So we're a great resource for you. Our mantra is we're government working together with government. And it's not a sales pitch, it really is something that's true, where we have the same needs that you have. So that's the whole reason we got into the software, is just like you want the best software possible, so did we. And this is the vehicle that we felt we could achieve that with government working together with government, but it lends itself to so many more things. So when you have code initiatives and other things, there's Mike and there's others that we can be partners to help each other for our shared interest. Another new thing is we're now also an ICC preferred partner. So we're hoping to leverage that at the bowl conferences and some of the state conferences, we'll be able to start teaching classes. Our goal is going to be to do an education on technology and that you can earn CCUs for that. So just other things that we're continuing to evolve, to expand with government, working together with government, and that's what truly makes this different. So there's another initiative that our organization is doing. It's not in my division. I'm the Chief Technology Officer, and I lead up the technology division. But we have another division that is doing things with blight and demo cleanup and things like that. But if that's something that your city struggles with, you don't have the personnel looking to lead up a blight program, property abatement. They're in the other room that we have, which I'll talk about in a second. There's a whole booth there. You can talk with Tom, you can talk with Jeremy, but that's other additional services that we provide of interest. So we're always doing different things at the commission. Like they said, I've been there for over 20 years, and people are like, man, how have you had the same job for so long? Well, it's because I don't feel like I've had the same job. My job has continually evolved because we're always working on something new. What I do today is different than what I did 5 years ago. So it's really been a privilege to work for such a dynamic commission, just doing different things, and to be able to meet and network with all of you. It's just really, really great. All right, so what we're here to talk about today is My Government Online, or MGO. So our software does many different things, from permits and licensing, planning and zoning, code enforcement, public works, and really a lot more than that. We're constantly working on new things based on what our shared needs are. We have many of you that are here that help us continue to improve and make things better. So what are some of the new things that we have? So first off, we're always investing in people, right? That's probably one of the most important things that we can invest in other than the technology is our staff. So we have a lot of great staff that has been around, that have continued to evolve into new roads. Just a couple of notable people. We have Ben Rhodes, who's standing in the back. You can wave Ben. But Ben, we kind of poached him from one of our customers. We didn't. He was looking for a job. But he had used our software in a permit office for over 5 years. He worked with floodplains. He has a really interesting background. And then he applied for one of the jobs that we had as a software trainer. So he actually used our software every day doing the same thing that you did, and he made the switch to help do software training. So he is an excellent resource, especially for floodplain administration, permit techs, because he's actually done that job and he's seen it from both sides. Then we have Talia. I don't know if Talia could be in the, nope, there's Talia. So Talia's new. Talia's a mathematics major, so you know she's smart. She's somewhat new, but she's been doing a great job for us on help desk, and she's become our contractor registration specialist. So we're going to talk more about that, but we have a brand new way, new and improved, to handle contractor registrations, and that's what she's leading up, and she's going to be talking about that. We have Brittany on help desk. Many of you probably know Brittany. She's just been phenomenal, just talking with you, helping with things. Anna Shelton couldn't be here, but these are some of our specialists that we've invested in, that she just does workflows, same as Chris Ebersol, who's in the back as well. So these are folks that when you need kind of consultant services or consultations on some of the best ways to do workflows, that's what they do all day, every day. They don't work help desk MWS tickets, just meet with jurisdictions and help them implement the best workflows for automating your processes. And then of course, Fabi over there on the left. Fabi leads up our help desk. She's really specialized in many different things. She's been very versatile, helped us with on-site trips in special situations. And she also has been a great liaison for us to the Spanish-speaking community. So Fabi speaks Spanish natively. So we have many people that call us all the time that only speak Spanish, and Fabi is able to translate and help them get what they need. So a lot of things that we do on the help desk that you may not be aware that we service your public, but Fabi's a big instrument in providing those extra services. You know, and the other thing that's a new improvement is the conference. So every year we get your feedback cards, we listen to the feedback, and we see how can we do more things to serve you. And that's what this is about. These whole conferences come about from your requests. So in your welcome bag, you're going to have a survey card. I promise you I'll read every single one every year, and we do take action based on that. So one of the big feedback items that we received is that there was a desire for a greater level of networking opportunity, breakout sessions. So we were able to do that this year. So we have a second room. So while we're doing things like code enforcement or public works that perhaps maybe you're not interested in, or vice versa, we're going to have breakout sessions on different topics. So if we're doing something on public works, there's a breakout session for permitting items, and vice versa. So we'll be talking more about that. We brought our help desk here. So we have a computer set up in there. We have the actual help desk that you would call in and talk with. So if you have some MWS tickets that are outstanding that have just kind of been stuck, you can go and meet with staff, sit with them. They can pull up the ticket, help get it unstuck, and get it resolved right here at the conference. Another great value to come out. You get priority preferred support if you come on out. How's that sound? All right. This isn't really new, but I want to make sure it's something that you're aware of, and there's always new things with it. So traditionally, you know, when we first started this, we didn't have an admin tool that really allowed you to do a lot of things yourself. So you pretty much had to go through the support for things, and the times have changed. Really, especially I've seen it with COVID. It used to be when we first got into this, whoever we worked with, we know those people 10, 15, 20 years till they retired. But now, you know, I have some cities, and some of you are here, it's new faces all the time. I've had one city that contacted us and had all new staff. We trained them. 2.5 weeks later, they contact us again. They had all new staff again, need us to train them again. And then a month after that, they had all new staff. It's like, oh. And that's not always uncommon. You know, there's others here, I'm sure you at your own cities have had your own struggles with that. So that really began to overwhelm our help desk because it's based on a shared idea that we can get somebody, get them trained, get them going, and they're really largely done. And then we can use just kind of initial level help desk and we can move our experienced people to the next one. But because of the constant turnover, we found ourselves that we were constantly retraining everyone over and over. New people come in, they got their own ideas, they want to change the software to do something different, and it was really overwhelming us. And then in addition to that, it used to be that jurisdictional staff largely didn't want to get involved with the software. They did not want to touch anything in the software. They were very happy to let us do it. But that's not really so much the case today. Today, we're much more of a technology-oriented society. We all have cell phones. We all do technical things. You know, it used to be, 20 years ago, if you could set up your home router, that was a big deal. Now, probably all of you can do that to a certain extent. So we've created more technology tools with our admin tool that allows you to do a lot of the same things that our support does yourself. Now, it's not something that every user should have access to. It's something that you as a jurisdiction need to agree who's going to be the admin. We keep that list, and then we provide access. And one of the things we're working towards is all of our internal tools are going away, and it's going to be replaced by this one really modern, great admin tool that you as a customer can use, our help desk can use, so we're using the same tools to modify and configure the software. So with the admin tool, there are many, many things you can do. We came out with this officially October of last year. And then the commitment we made is that every 3 weeks, there would be new features. And we have done that. You can actually look in the version log. Kind of jump ahead a little bit here. Let me go back. There we go. There's the link for the version log in the admin tool. If you look at that, you can see, you can go back to when we first launched. Every 3 weeks, there's something new, and you can read and see what that is. And eventually, everything that we can do, you will be able to do with this tool. But there's many things that it can do today. You can manage user accounts. You can set up roles. You can manage what people are in which groups for your requirements. You can edit application questions for your online applications and requests. You can manage your workflows. And there's many other things as far as, the inspection times and blocking out days that people can't request. All of that can be done with the admin tool. So big overview with that. So just continue to look for that. If your jurisdiction doesn't have someone that's on our list as an admin, please get with us. You can get with Josh LaRose. Make sure, you've agreed as a jurisdiction who that is, but every jurisdiction should have someone that's an admin to at least do basic things because it's going to help us work together better. Contractor licensing. Now, this is a big overhaul that we've been working on for some time, and it is here and it's ready. Like I said, Talia is leading that up. We've already started switching jurisdictions over to this new and improved way to manage contractor licensing. Now, we can't just switch all of our customers all at once. It's many hundreds. Talia and others will get overrun. So what we're doing is we have a sign-up list. If this is something you're ready for, just sign up for it. Talia's working with somebody probably new every week. She's been going through the list, working, scheduling meetings, getting them turned on. But we do have customers live with this today. So it's a really great tool. The big change to really understand about it, it utilizes things you already know. So today, if you're in our software, permitting, somebody submits an application, they accept the application, it turns into a project, and you have these features. But the contractor licensing works a little bit differently. You can do an online application, but then it has to kind of get merged into the separate database, and then it's laid out differently. What we realized after years of doing this, sometimes we're a little slow, the wheels turn, but sometimes they turn a little slow, is we really already have what is needed that is perfect for contractor licensing with the permitting process. We just needed to build a few more features to really tie it together, so that's what we did. So now we can discontinue kind of 2 different methods, 2 different ways of learning to do things. It simplifies what you need to know. It makes it easier for us to make things better because we have less code we have to maintain. And now it's one process with just a couple other features that you can do. So for those that we've already put live with this, they love it. I know Jeff Remos with Highland Beach, I know he's had a chance to look at it a little bit already, was telling me this is way better. He's very excited about it. I believe, and we have others that are live with it today as well. But Talia will be your reference point with that to get you switched over. All right, policies and procedures guide. Now, this isn't so much something that we're doing, but it is. But this is something that we've learned as a really great best practice that we can work on together, and it really kills multiple birds with one stone, if you will. So as I was talking about earlier, we've really come into a new world with employee turnover. We have it sometimes. Luckily, it's been relatively minimal, but every jurisdiction, every city all across the country struggles with turnover and having to retrain employees. And so one of the things that we would get asked for is a handbook to how to use the software, which we have. I don't like giving it out. I don't feel it's helpful. It's like 90-something pages, and it just overwhelms a person. So you have a new employee that comes, you give them this 90-page document and all things with the software. They don't have any real background into it. They read through it, they're lost. They're reading things that doesn't apply to their job. And then what we end up doing is having to get them with a software trainer to just do top to bottom training anyway, right? So it kind of ends up just kind of wasted time starting there. But we came up with a better way, working with jurisdictions, instead of having a handbook, to have a policy and procedure guide. So the idea with this is you as a jurisdiction, you would designate, it's not something we lead up, you actually lead it up. So you would designate who is going to have the authority on your staff that's going to really describe what the jobs are by job role. So for example, you can say, look, we have permit techs, that's going to be one policy and procedure guide all by itself. We have inspectors, that's going to be one. We have plan reviewers. You're just going to list out what your job roles are. And then you're going to describe, when that permit tech comes in for the day, what do we want them doing? One of the things they should do is look at applications and accept the applications. They should, the next thing is maybe a permit tech might have the responsibility of looking for returned plan review letters for corrections that were done. Whatever those job duties are, which can be different for different jurisdictions, the permit techs do different things, just identify what they are. Now that's where we come in. I have Tracy on staff and a few others. If you'll help us do the start of that policies and procedures guide, we can meet together and then we can, okay, this is what this person does. This is how you do that in the software. And we have a lot of templates. We can do this relatively quickly, but using your configuration, which could be different than somebody else's, we're putting in your screenshots of exactly step by step, this is how you accept the application. This is how you see that a file has been returned to you. So now if you have a new employee comes in, if you've been hired as a permit tech, you give them that guide. Now look what this does. One, it tells them what their job is. You have a new employee first day on the job, sometimes they're confused about what that is. But right here in writing, this is your job. This is what we're expecting you to do day in and day out. Keep applications queued, move the letters, whatever it may be. And then even if they don't know anything about the software, they can follow through step by step exactly what they need to do as they go. And so that we have found has been phenomenal. We've had very large jurisdictions that have gone live with the software, and where we've taken the time up front to work with them to do these policies and procedures guides, and it's smooth. They don't overwhelm the help desk. They have staff that turns over. We don't even hear from them. They're not even doing retrainings, but it's because of this investment. Does it take some more time to do? Absolutely. But it is so worth it. So this is something that I would really encourage all of you to do, even if you're running fine on the software, but to make it a priority, to work with us that you're going to be the lead on to develop a policies and procedures guide. So when you do bring on a new employee or you have someone that's left, you have everything you need to onboard that employee quickly, and you really would need minimal assistance for us, which allows us free time to help do other things to serve you in other ways. Does that sound good? Great. But it's a simple thing, but it's something we can help you with, but it is so powerful, and I've really been surprised at how big of an impact it has. Virtual inspections. So how many of you are inspectors or involved with inspectors and they just got way too much time on their hands? You see your inspectors, they got nothing to do. They're drinking coffee all day, just waiting for an inspection to come in so they got somewhere to go. Is that your situation? No. Inspections are a problem. You really have a situation, I see it all over the country, where jurisdictions are struggling to have enough capacity. They can't hire enough inspectors. You kind of look around the room and you don't see 25-year-old building inspectors, right? you seeing people who are, we'll just leave it at that. But you have a median age that's really closer to retirement, and I see a lot of jurisdictions bringing people back from retirement because that's the workforce. So that there's no inspector that's sitting around, kind of a facetious joke, which I'm sure you can appreciate, but trying to add capacity to do inspections to keep construction moving is an important problem. Virtual inspections may be part of an answer to that problem. So that's going to be something that we have Uchenna that's here with RevCord and Bill Bradshaw. They have a booth over there. They're going to be doing lots of giveaways. All that stuff on that table over there, they're giving away all of that today. So, but virtual inspections, this has been we first unveiled it at our Texas conference in October, and we've already had 10 jurisdictions sign up for it. But we are integrated with RevCord out of the box. And in short, what it allows an inspector to do is to be able to do the inspection without having to go on the job site. How many more inspections in a day do you feel you could do if you never had to leave your office? If you could take that drive time and convert that into inspection time. That's what virtual inspections does for you. Now, are you going to be able to do every inspection virtually? Probably not. But how many inspections could you do? Roof inspections, where there's a danger or liability on the roof that you could do. A lot of you others. And we have jurisdictions that are using this today successfully. We had Michael with Harker Heights. He was supposed to be here. He's been using it for over a year now. Unfortunately, I think last minute he wasn't able to attend. But he would be somebody that Uchenna could absolutely put you in touch with. And he can talk to you about how they're successfully using virtual inspections to meet their demands. So, but in short, it'll let you, essentially, you can have that contractor or their representative on the job site. You can see through their phone, kind of like a FaceTime call, but it's recording it automatically. And this is an integrated port with our software. So you might have tried to do virtual inspections, and I know we've had some do that, and they said it didn't work real well. Well, they'll just do a FaceTime call. They'll try to screenshot, and it's not the best. This takes away where it's a function of the software. All those things happen automatically, and we're going to spend a lot more time showing you that today. All right, another new thing we have, and I'm super excited about this, is our strategic partnership program. How many of you, even not with us, you might have other software at your city, you have two different softwares and you've integrated them together. Have you been in that situation? Two softwares that do really great things, but you integrate them together. Something goes wrong, and then what happens? It's their fault. No, it's their fault. And you're like a ping pong ball going between the two, right? And we've had that happen. Sometimes it's just for good reason, difference of opinion, different where the information goes. But we don't have a relationship with someone that we've integrated with, so we're really relying on the customer. And I'm going to talk more about this at lunch. But we've come up with a way to overcome that ping pong ball effect by having this partnership program that we have different companies that it's beyond just an integration. Like with RevCord, they're a preferred partner, but it's not just the fact that our software is integrated. We've actually done cross-training together. So we have trained them exactly how our software works. They've trained us on how their software works. Their chief technology officer has my cell number. I have his. So if you call our help desk with a preferred partner and there's a problem, we're not going to tell you, oh, well, you got to call RevCord. No, we're going to take the information. We're going to talk to their support and collaborate together, and then we'll follow back up with you with the resolution. Same thing if you call RevCord. Even if they do believe it's an MGO problem, they're not going to say, oh, you're going to have to talk to Ryan over there. We don't know. No, they're going to take the information. They'll contact me. So we work together much better as one. And now there's other companies where we don't have that relationship. They don't want to have that relationship with us, and that's okay. They're just not going to be a preferred partner. They're just going to be somebody that we've just integrated our software, and that's what you're going to expect from that. But for those companies that you see the strategic partner or the preferred partner label, that means there's something above and beyond there than just simply zeros and ones. There's a relationship, there's a training program, and that's going to in turn mean something of more value to you. So that's something new we have with RevCord. We also have a Clarion for financial software, so that you can essentially, with our strategic partners, build a full-on ERP system with this, and we'll talk more about that later. Auto-assign work orders. Again, back to the inspection problem, how would you like that you could just click one button and it automatically assign your work orders to your inspectors where you don't have to do it? Would that be of value to anybody? That is something you can do in the software. We actually have a couple of different jurisdictions. Those that do a lot of inspections, they just click a button, and based on an algorithm that they've defined, it'll auto-assign to the different inspectors for the best schedule. Requirements dashboard. A lot of you are familiar with our work orders dashboard, being able to drag and drop work orders to it. How'd you like to be able to do that with requirements? How would you like to more actively manage your plan reviewers and assign what they're going to do for the day, or just know what they're doing? How would you like to have your 3 plan reviewers and see exactly what tasks are in their queue? You can do that with the requirements dashboard, whether it be drag and drop individual modes or even if you're doing groups, and we'll have a whole class on that later today. Another new feature that we've really been trialing, and it's really working out well, there's a number of things we had to work out, but Lafayette's been a great partner with us in testing that, is the ability to drag in an inspection multiple times. We kind of call it our infinite inspection feature. So if you hear us say that, this is what we're referring to. And where this comes in helpful is when you have these really large construction jobs, right? You have a big building, multiple floors, and you need to go do 10 electrical inspections all on their own suite. Well, before with the software, you could have your electrical inspection, you had to finish that one, then do the next one, do the next one. With this feature enabled, you can actually bring in 10 electrical inspections, the same inspection name, but bring it in 10 times. It can be assigned to the different suites if you wish to do that. And so then you don't have to wait till one. You can just go through and knock them all out in one shot, or one at a time if you wish, but they'll all be laid out. You don't have to complete them. So this is something for that situation. It's a great feature. It does have to be turned on. We might have just released it. If not, we're going to be releasing soon in the admin tool that you'll be able to turn it on and off yourself. So once that gets there, you don't even have to ask us. You can just try it out. If you don't like it, turn it off or whatever you need to do. But I want to make you aware that that's something very valuable that's there. Okay, and then the big thing that I'm really excited about is, as you know, one of the things, our software now is over 19 years old. I've led up the technical development the entire time. Mike can tell you a lot of really wonderful stories about how we were just so excited, lovingly working together, figuring out what's the best software that we needed. Mike was very impressed with my patience and how kind I was with him all the time, but we're still working together to this day, right down the hall from each other. But because of that, the technologies, you know how fast things change. Think about what your iPhone was 19 years ago, right? Compared to today. Well, while we've done many upgrades and things throughout the years, there's whole new technology platforms that allow for greater things than the older one. But the problem is, in 19 years, we've written literally millions of lines of code with no easy and great way to just hit the easy button to convert that to the next platform. So for years now, recognizing this need, we've been rebuilding our software on a brand new modern platform that allows us to do incredible things that just isn't possible in the older technology. And we've largely completed it. So if you've seen of MGO Connect, so traditionally we had these different domains: My Permit Now, My Project Now, Inspection Anywhere, My Government Online. And there was reasons for how that evolved that way. But one of the things we're doing is all of that's going away. There's going to be one domain, doesn't matter what it is, mgoconnect.org, and then based on your permissions, that transforms into what it is you need. So if you're an inspector, it's going to be inspections. If you're an inspector that also does plan review, well, you have both. and you don't have to go to different sections. It's one thing that's configured for what you need. So we've been done with large chunks of this now for some time. The customer portal, if you should absolutely be using MGO Connect. That's been out for years. We're going to talk about that. We have lots of great success stories. Inspection Anywhere. If you're using Inspection Anywhere today, you really shouldn't be. You should be using MGO Connect. We've done lots of outreaches and training. If you're still using Inspection Anywhere, Uchenna is going to pay you to switch to it. We want to, it doesn't get any nicer than that. We're going to bribe you. Nobody likes change, but we're going to do whatever we got to do to sweeten the deal to get you into the latest and greatest version. But it's something you can use. And the last thing that we've been working on is the replacement for My Permit Now. And so that is now here. Now, just because it's here doesn't mean we're going to be switching everybody over at once. This is the most complicated piece, and so we're going to be doing it slowly. Now, we already have some select jurisdictions, mostly in public works, that's already using it, and it's going very well, and we're going to be ready to start taking on our first permit offices here very soon. So if you want to be an early adopter, now, understand what early adopter means. That means you have to be patient. You have to want to give us feedback if something's not exactly right. You can sign up for that, and there'll be a list, and we're going to be reaching out to you to help try it out. Now, the great thing about it is you really don't have to do anything. We don't have to move your data. You can literally use both at the same time. So you can continue to keep using My Permit Now. We're not just turning it off. There's no yanking the blanket out from underneath you, so to speak, or the carpet. You can keep My Permit Now. You can log in with MGO Connect, long as we've given you the roles. You can try it out, and if there's a problem, you just go back to My Permit Now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to contact us. You literally just use the other browser, whatever it may be. And then you can talk with us in your experience and feedback. We can make whatever tweaks we need until eventually you're going to use this and love it so much you're never going to want to use My Permit Now. So that's our goal, is to have all customers off of My Permit Now and into MGO Connect over the next year. So it's going to take time. We can't do everybody all at once, but over the next calendar year, our goal is for the next conference that I'm saying, we don't have anybody on My Permit Now anymore, right? That's what I want to be saying next December. And we're just going to be talking about all the really cool, great things with MGO Connect. Now, there's a number of benefits of what's going to be really awesome about this. The number one is the speed. It is blazingly fast. Not just the load speed initially, but then after that, you don't have any more loads. There are no reloads. It's literally faster than if you were using an installed program like Access. That's always been the trade-off. You had an Access database, you had a website, the website's slower, but you could use it from anywhere, and that was the trade. Well, now that's no longer a trade-off. The speed is so great that it's actually faster than an installed program on your computer.